Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ugandans, I'd like to address you today on how Dictator Museveni has impoverished Ugandans, has brought poverty to Ugandans of immense degree. He goes around lying to the people that this is Operation Museveni wealth creation. However, he goes around with sacks of money, obviously unaccounted for, bribing officials in districts and villages so that he is endorsed and voted for in 2 years' time. I would like from today to rename his operation Poverty Creation. Museveni has created poverty of untold proportions to the ordinary Ugandans, to 97% of Ugandans. This is not new. He started it during the Bush War. He would take people's property, he would take their cows and eat their food, with the promises that he would repay back when the country settled. Up to now, even those who actually fought with him, have not been compensated and have not been paid. We hear that ex-servicemen are going to Parliament to petition the Parliament so that the government can pay them their due fee. As far as cattle was concerned, many parts of Uganda lost their cattle to Museveni. And here you would know about Karamoja, you would know about Eastern Uganda, where cattle were just taken away from the people and transferred to the properties of Dictator Museveni and his henchmen. They were never paid back. After he took over power, he devalued the Ugandan shilling. The principle was that this would help Ugandans curb inflation and add value to their products and to their currency. Ladies and gentlemen, has this happened? What is the actual value of the Ugandan shilling now compared to our neighbors in Kenya, compared to our neighbors in Tanzania? No, it has not happened. He took people's money for his own benefit, and nothing has been done to remedy the situation. Properties have been taken from people, from small dwellings to big establishments. Many of these, if they don't take it by force, they take it because they levy a tax which is punitive, which is criminal on businesses and on buildings. The net effect is that you go out of business, and these are taken by his henchmen and those businessmen who are aligned to him, like Sudil and Kirumira, who don't pay their due taxes. And in fact, Sudil has even got the audacity to sue the Bank of Uganda for compensation, so that even the little that is still in Bank of Uganda can be taken back to Sudil to be given back to his master, Dictator Museveni. Many of you would know that in the 1940s and 50s, Budu, which now he calls Masaka because he wants to distort history, and Bugerere were the leading producers of bananas, matoke. And this fed 80% of the country. Now, if he wanted to expand this, nobody would mind. But in his crafty and thieving way, he destroyed the banana industry in Budu, or Masaka as it is called now, when he dished out so-called fertilizers and medicine to curb weeds and insects. This was poison, and the plantations in Masaka were decimated. They have never recovered. Now, what did he do? He took the bananas to Ankole, and now they are the main producers. He didn't give them the same poison. This man has got an agenda. This man has been working for the select few and making the rest of Ugandans poor. Again, the story of vanilla is fresh in your minds. The people of Uganda had discovered vanilla as a good industry. The government intervened, and that was the end of it. Many people lost their money, they lost their investment, and now many of them are paupers. He has even gone to the extent of regulating in a bad way the border industry, so that if you're not aligned to him, if you're not aligned to Mama Fina, who works for Museveni, every single day the police will get you on this or that, and you'll be made to pay excessive taxes to drive you out of business. Even the people selling small stuff on the streets in Kampala, in Ichikubo, have been harassed, have been sent away. What type of man is this? This is brought on the guise of cleaning up the city. Yes, if you want to clean up the city, then find an area which is designated for the hawkers, where people can go once or twice a week and buy whatever they want, so that you don't take away the income of these people. And there is no substitute. Now, all of you know that Dictator Museveni has been on a looting spree as far as the land is concerned. This has been a bit difficult for him, and many of us have made a lot of noise. And he's changed his tactics. Instead of just chasing you away like he did recently in Masaka and Bugerere and many other parts, he's now using the courts of law. So the people come with a piece of paper signed by so-and-so registrar or so-and-so judge saying there is an order to evict you from your land. And 80% of the cases, the people who are going to be evicted were not in the court, were not in front of the registrar when this decision was made. It was made in absentia. What type of justice is this? Even the legal system has collapsed. And for those of you, the registrars and the judges, who have subscribed to this theft of people's property, history will judge you very harshly. Ladies and gentlemen, currently we've got the issue of coffee growing. Coffee has been the backbone of the economy of Uganda for the last 100 years. And even the ordinary man could grow coffee, sell it, get money, and send his child to school. Many of us went to school because of coffee. Now he wants to regulate, more properly, he wants to take the coffee industry from the majority of Ugandans into the few, either his henchmen or relatives or worshippers of foreign interests. He wants to regulate the coffee industry. This is criminal. And he wants to inspect the land where you're going to grow coffee, not to help you, but to say if it is not suitable, then you can't grow coffee, and probably they'll take away that piece of land anyway, and in a year's time, a so-called investor will come, take your land, and then grow the same crop on that piece of land. Now, this is not acceptable. And Ugandans, you must wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what has happened to the fishermen and the fish industry in Uganda. Many local fishermen who used to earn a living and feed their family properly, because fish is very good food, it's got a lot of things that we need for the body. Many of them have been chased away or killed. And Lake Victoria, which is a God-given gift to Ugandans, Museveni has repossessed it by force. And the people who know him, the so-called investors, those businessmen that subscribe to his teachings, are the ones who have got the right to fish. And what do the rest of Ugandans do? They are fed on the bones. They take off the good fillet, sell it overseas, get money, keep it outside. Because if that money came back to Uganda and helped the ordinary Ugandans, maybe there could have been a reason for us to say, it could work. But that money is kept overseas. It does not come back to the country. And there's no development from the sales of fish overseas. And the ordinary Ugandans are left to feed on the bones. And those who are stubborn are daily harassed, beaten, their boats confiscated, and even their lives lost. And many of you know that parts like Kalangala now, there are certain areas, some islands in Kalangala. Now, again, he changed this. This used to be Sese Islands, so that it gave the right impression. It's not only just one island. There are many islands. But he changed the name to change history. So in Kalangala district, some islands now are really not Ugandan islands because the inhabitants on them now are foreigners. And the original people on these islands have been either chased away or killed or made to be slaves on their own land. Ladies and gentlemen, how far are you going to allow Dictator Museveni to go? The little that is left, ladies and gentlemen, it is all our responsibility to make sure that it is not taken, it is not stolen, that Dictator Museveni is booted out of power once for all, so that we can save the little that is left of our beautiful motherland. And therefore, I call upon all of you to join me in this crusade to save our country. God bless you. For God and my country.